welcome to Sunday and welcome to this video. I am Kim Copeland and this is for Channel Medium Kim. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you watching today. Sunday is a day where we can hopefully have some self-care time, hopefully have a reflection time, maybe a spiritual time, maybe a meditation time. So I hope you've been able to do that for yourself today. And if you have, yay for you. And it's a day for me where I just finished a day of hospice, and I have a hospice story I would like to share with you that happened today that I thought was pretty awesome. And I also want to share with you 5 of the top questions that I've been getting over the last couple weeks from when I do readings or from hospice patients. And I want to add in, I saw today Linda G talked about aliens, and I just want to talk a little bit about my experiences with aliens. I'm totally on board with what she says, and I just want to tell you some of my experiences. So we'll start first with the top 5 questions. All right, so, and this is probably from people who are I'm giving readings to, and one of the questions is this my imagination, or do I have abilities? So first of all, what clues me into the answer is when you even ask the question that is it your imagination or do you have abilities? I would say you have abilities, but actually I believe everybody has abilities, and it's just whether or not we develop them. And that's why sometimes it does take many years to develop our abilities. I know some people have been developing since they were a child. Some people started 20 years ago, and some people started a year ago. But what I'm noticing with all this is that people are all kind of getting together. I mean, I think we're lining up. It's pretty awesome. So yes, I would say you have abilities, and wouldn't it be fun to develop them even more if you want, okay? Okay, number 2, am I doing it right? Am I talking to my spirit people right? That means talking to my guides, my angels, my departed loved ones, my pets. Am I doing it right? Well, first of all, to be doing it at all is congratulations for that, because it doesn't matter how clumsy or you feeling unconfident with it. They hear your thoughts, your words, and your intentions in your heart. So there is no wrong and right way to talk to your spirit people, be that your guides, your departed loved ones. There is no wrong and right way. Now, again, when you'll hear them more, of course, the more you're developed. All right, it's actually easier to hear somebody else's messages than it is your own. That's why it's helpful to get readings, right? I mean, that's why I get readings still. It's a little easier to hear somebody else's guides and angels talk. I know some people hear their guides just like that. It takes me a little, it's more of a feeling and a knowing for me. All right, so I think though they appreciate the talking and any way you talk to them. And what I notice too is when I'm giving a reading to somebody that has been talking to their team, I see them closer. I see them in the field really closer, right behind them, versus far away. If somebody hasn't communicated with their team on the other side, whether the spirit guides or whoever, they usually are farther back. And it's harder for me to bring them in. So I encourage, and I know they love it too. They want to be part of your life. All right, now question number 3. Will my loved ones meet me when I go to the other side? Will they meet me there? Well, first of all, I hope you guys know that yes, you're going to be met by loved ones, and which ones, I think it depends on, who you are closest to, who you feel most comfortable with, who you have co-created in your spirit team to meet you on the other side. So yes, they will meet you, and it will be a joyful reunion and excitement, and they are very excited to be there. They want to help. That's what they truly want to do. Even if they've been gone for a long time and you feel like they've reincarnated, realize that part of them may have reincarnated. A part of their oversoul may be in a life somewhere else, but that person that you know or knew will always be there just like that person. Okay, even though, they just won't have a body, but you'll recognize them. You'll know, even people that you didn't know in this lifetime, that you never even heard of, when you get to the other side, now this is what I understand, you're going to know those people by their energy. You'll just know each other. Alrighty, now will I meet my pets? Will my pets meet me when I transition? And yes, emphatically yes. I see pets at the bedside all the time. I see pets with people all the time, people that aren't in transition, that I'm doing readings for, they are there, they are excited, they want to be there again when you make your transition, just like when if they were happy to see you when you got home, they're going to be happy to see you when you go home again. So yes, they are excited to help and want to be there for you, just as excited as you are to see them. All right, question number 5. Okay, this is more for hospice. People ask, is my dad at the bedside now, or is their dad at the bedside, or who's at the bedside now as my loved one is transitioning? So I know that there is a group. It's more than one person. I'm sure, weeks in advance. I've heard 6 weeks in advance, the message goes out. It's time for so-and-so to make their transition, and the room is being filled in with your loved ones, with your spirit team, with your angels, whoever you need to help you cross over safely and securely. Just, they're doing everything they can to get you there, just like we're doing everything we can on this side to kind of make it as comfortable as possible. Okay, so what I normally see though is that there's 1 to 3 people that are kind of like the leaders on the other side, that are more like the planners, the ones who are telling people like where to stand, and what, what's going to be served at the dinner table, that sort of thing. There seems to be 2 people usually, but sometimes 3, sometimes 1, that is the coordinator, that seems to be the leader. And what I have also noticed is that person would be also somebody that you would know in this lifetime, and would have maybe even done that role in this lifetime too. Okay, I hope those are the top 5 questions. I hope that's helpful to you. Now, I'm going to tell you about a story that happened today. I was with a man. He was in his upper 70s. He had diagnosed with cancer the beginning of COVID time over a year ago. And let's see, last night he was starting to act like he was about to transition. He was getting very agitated, had never really even used any pain medicine, hardly any medicine at all. But last night was different. He was trying to go. He was saying, push me out of here, telling his wife, push me out, push me out. Kind of like a birth, right? Reminds you of being born again. And he was, looking around, and he acted like he could see things. And this is normal, right? The normal process of when we're done, we're trying to figure out how to get through that tunnel or whatever it is that however we're leaving, whether it's a boat, a spaceship, a train, a horse, a tunnel, however we're getting across. So anyway, he was doing all these motions, and finally he settled down. So when I was there today, he was breathing very shallow and just basically no expression. His mouth was open and his eyes were fixated on the ceiling. No response. Although when we told him to swallow, he could swallow still a little bit. So we knew he could hear us, but he was mostly in the other world. And so I talked to the family about doing maybe a little healing touch like I've done before. And I've talked about this before in other videos, feeling the energy around the body. And they were very open to that. They were hoping that maybe just by me saying it's okay to go, that he might go. They were so ready for him to go. And so, I went over the heart. I felt the whole energy field. And over his heart, I felt beautiful, like a church almost. It just felt like a church. Sacredness, saints, almost like a Roman Catholic church. That's what it felt like. And it turns out he was raised Catholic, and he did talk to the saints. So that was interesting that he had that. Now, and I was getting closer to, kind of going into his field, and then I heard a voice, and it sounded like a little girl, and it said, Donnie, Donnie, Donnie. And I could tell that she was so excited. I could tell she was on his right side, right next to him, just yelling at the top of her lungs, so excited for him to come. And so I really jumped back. It's like, whoa, that is really loud and exciting. And it was a little girl, and they said, and then the wife cried, and she said, I know who that is. That's his little sister who died when she was 7. And she told me the whole story. It's very sad, and he never has gotten over it. So what happened was, he was 8, she was 7. She was supposed to turn off the stove and move some water off the I guess boiling water, move it away from the burner. And so she had her nightgown on. So she went over to turn it off and then move it over, and her nightgown caught on fire. And she started screaming. Of course, she went to her brother, Donnie, and said, help me, Donnie, help me, Donnie. And by the time she got there, her whole nightgown was on fire. And he said, or this is according to his wife, that he would just touch her and her skin was just falling off, and then she passed. So he never, ever got over that. And so we know that was the little girl that was talking to him on the side of the bed. And he talked about that experience so much in his life. And I know he believed in the afterlife, but he was not sure, how she would be, or would she be there. And she was so excited to see him. So that was pretty awesome to witness that. Now, tell you about the ETs, my experience. Now, I believe personally that ETs have always been here. We just are now becoming more aware. We're more open. Everybody is more open. Our vibration is rising, so we're able to, meet them and see them more often. And I think they're also coming more often because we are in big transition, and they want to make sure they're holding us and helping us, I believe also. Now, this is my theory. I don't know. But I want to tell you, when about 16 years ago is when I first saw an ET. I saw and I think I've even told some of you guys this, but the green hand, I saw the green hand coming over my forehead like this. And I could see like the fingers kind of like that. And it was when I was meditating in my bedroom, and my bedroom was above my son's room. And I just thought it seemed a little bit funny. I mean, I knew what it was. It was bright green. I could see the fingers even looked a little bit different than our fingers. And again, just holding it, but I felt like they were laughing. It was like they were doing it almost funny. And then the next morning, my son, who was about 3 or 4 at the time, said, Mom, last night I had a hand on my head and it was green fingers on my head. So interesting that they were doing it about the same time. So that was a confirmation, right? And then multiple times since then, I've seen, mainly see, one of the powerful things for me is I was on a massage table. I was receiving energy work, energy medicine, and I was in a position, we were doing something. There was a group of us, and there was a group around me. There's about maybe 6 or 7, I don't know, around me. And I was holding hands with another person also receiving. And so we were holding hands. She was on the table too, 2 different tables. And we were experimenting to see energies in my body would be felt in hers and vice versa. So if, you know, if it would be transferred over. So anyway, there was the healers around us and they were doing this. And what I saw when I opened I was more objective. I saw, again, green. They were green, very bright grass green to me. And they were all around us. And again, it was a feeling of healing. It was a feeling of fun and love and just like excitement to be healers. So I feel, boy, the times I've seen them, they've been very healing. And then I've also seen them, well, I see them with people, you know, you know, clients, probably about once a week. I see them coming in various forms. I know I've seen Arcturians. I know I've seen funny yellow ones that are short, and I've seen smaller, like blackish ones. Actually, one of my friends who she's a medium, and she lives in an area where there's a lot of the ETs, and that this has been known, and they have a lot of UFOs in their neighborhood. This is up in Washington State. She lives out in the country in a cabin, and her dad before her would see them. So that, I mean, it was the area that was very profuse with these. And so when I do a reading for her, as soon as we start the reading, they come into my room and they make themselves at home. They hang on the door, they do funny things, and they'll be two at the same time. They'll, you know, they just do funny things. So they're different. These ones look more like they live in the earth. And I know some live in the earth and some live in the water. Some live in the sun, right? So anyway, so it's exciting, and I'm glad that we are finally allowed now with the government and whatever to be able to hear more about them from the Navy and whoever else knows or has more experience in this. So yay that we are actually all opening up to this. And the one little thing I wanted to share, other little thing that happened to me today was I was driving there was a dead animal on the road, raccoon. And I often think I'm going to help the vultures or whoever, you know, I want to stop and help that animal across the road, but I've never done it before. And this raccoon, I know it was very dead, but it was still very full-bodied and everything. And I drove by once, and I could tell the vultures were there, and they were trying to pull it across. So I turned around and I parked my car, I put double gloves on, and I went over and I picked up the raccoon and I put it not just on the side of the road, but I lifted it up and put it on an area where the vultures could get it. And I honestly, you know, I mean, I've seen dead people before, so I'm trying not to get grossed out or anything, but I could tell as soon as I left and the vultures were right there, they were right back. And you know what? They said thank you. I just know they said thank you, and I feel, hey, you know, it's a good thing if you get a chance to do that. I know it's kind of a weird thing to talk about, but you know, it stayed with me because that was this morning, and it stayed with me all day. The magic of that moment of helping the vultures, you know, anything we can do to help each other, whether it's vultures or bugs or people. You know, we are here to show and express and share love and compassion. And so, you know, it was a little scary to do that, but it was okay. And anyway, so you guys, I hope you've had a wonderful Sunday, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Namaste.